So there are some pretty alarming things when it comes to video game collecting that happened in 2024. And as we move into 2025, it's always important so that we don't get ripped off, we don't buy those fake games, and we don't fall into these crazy trends where we're overpaying for these video games. So this is a collecting guide on some things that I found pretty crazy in the previous year, and I don't want you guys to fall into that. So we'll just jump into it. Last year was the year of FOMO. You know, that fear of missing out when it came to the Xbox 360. Everyone was out there hyping up the system. Everyone was out there buying the games that they fell in love with when the Xbox 360 came out. And of course, what does that do? That drives up the price. But if you guys didn't buy all of those games, you'll notice that the prices came down. You didn't have to jump into that FOMO. You didn't have to jump into that crazy craze where you're finding these like crazy overpriced, overexpensive video games. And if you just waited patiently, you'll see that a lot of those games have definitely went down like several dollars. I'm not talking just a couple dollars, but I'm talking like 10, 20, 30, $40 on some of these crazy expensive games. So if you just waited, if you were just patient, that is something that you need to find, is that patience when it comes to video game collecting. You don't want to jump in on the trends or the collections or the gaming systems that everyone else is overhyping. You don't want to just jump into that because then you're going to pay these overinflated prices. Because, we all want to find those deals. We all want to have a video game collection that we enjoy, the games that we really care about. But if you just wait patiently, that's something that you can do. And that's another thing too. Look at that GameCube game, the Piglet game that everyone was talking about was just like Silent Hill or just like some sort of horror video game. Everyone went out there like the first day and there were prices of like $300, $200 that people were paying. And now I see in my area that people can't even give them away for like less than $50. It is just so crazy how like one little thing could just like inflate a stupid game and then just bring it down over time when that like hype and that, drive goes away. So that's what I'm saying is for a first tip, don't go crazy. Don't go out there and buy something just because everyone else is. Wait for the prices to come on down. When I'm going out there and I'm collecting for the Nintendo GameCube or these other sets, I'm not overpaying for these games. I'm trying to work those deals. I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to make those bundle deals. I'm trying to wait for the best opportunity out there by checking Facebook Marketplace, by checking eBay, by checking all of these other apps that are coming out, these different platforms where you can buy, sell, and trade these video games and not falling into that hype. So I think that's a great start out by not falling into that and, just being patient because the deals will come out there. Now, next up, I would have to say another crazy thing that happened was, I went into this video game store and they had tons of fake reproduction games. They weren't being labeled as reproductions. They were essentially deceiving customers into buying these games at these authentic prices, these overpriced prices, and they were hoping that people would fall into that. You need to do your research. You need to do your homework when it comes to this so that you don't get taken advantage. And it's not just one store either. This location is this like big company that has 3 different locations around me. They have them in other states. They're popping up all over and they're doing the same exact thing after being told that this is illegal, after being told that these games and their business practices are not great. They are still doing this. So it's up to you. It's up to the consumer. It's up to the person buying these games. Don't get taken advantage of. We all know there's these online companies that were saying they were refurbishing different systems. They weren't doing that. Now they are. But some of the prices are just so overinflated, but people buy them at these prices. You have to do the research so that you don't get taken advantage of. You don't get ripped off. You don't get all of these crazy inflated prices. It's up to you. So if you want to start collecting or even continue depending on where you're at, you have to know about these products. You have to go to the websites like eBay sold listings, go to price charting, do your research. Don't just check one listing and just think that that's the going rate, because you could see that maybe it's a little bit off, maybe the trend and everything else has dropped down, but you have to be mindful of this stuff. And I'd say next up, another tip is check out your local video game stores or even your local video game conventions. These are some great places, going in there, making those, community, making those relationships, and just seeing, what is going on at these local stores. See if you have any near you, whether it's a video game store, whether it's even Gamestop. I know we talk about all the hate and all the, everything else that goes on with Gamestop, but take advantage of those buy two get ones. Take advantage of the deals that they run. Take advantage of the closing stores where they have up to 90% off of some of these items. Ask them if they have items that they're giving away, trashing, or just throwing out in the dumpster. I've walked out of there with free games before. I've walked out of there with kiosks. I even walked out of there with this Nintendo Switch kiosk. You just have to ask. That's how I've gotten a lot of cool items, the displays, the posters, the standees, and everything else. Just make those relationships. Go in there, get to know them, see what items they have. Let them know what items you're looking for. And then at video game conventions, look around. Don't just buy at the first booth. Check out and see what all these booths have. See what these store owners have. See what deals they're willing to make. Do they have a buy two, get one? Do they have, buy so many, get so many? Do they have these deals? And see if they'll bundle. If you have cash, if you're willing to work these bundle deals, see what they're willing to offer you. Don't always jump at the first thing. As we move through and we see what 2025 has so far in store, we just don't want to fall victim of things that happened in the past. We don't want to have these same things happen, where people are panicking out there, where people are, being forced to sell certain things because of the crazy prices. Just focus in on what you want to collect, what you want to ultimately play, what items you really care about, what you're passionate about. Don't just go out there and collect anything and everything, especially if you have limited space. Focus in on a different system, a different franchise, different company. Just focus in on that stuff and see what you really enjoy. As we have, the Nintendo Switch 2, as we have all of these rumors about different systems, as we keep moving through, all of these consoles' lifespans, see what you really want to focus in on and just wait and see what deals you might find. Don't always rush out there the first thing and just jump all into it, because then you might regret something. You might feel bad about spending, $100 when the game is now going for $20 or $30. You don't want to continuously do that, because it's going to burn you out. It's going to make you not want to, collect certain things. So just ultimately do what you feel comfortable doing, enjoy what you're doing, and make sure it's something that you love. And of course, if you're out there buying lots of things, you use some of the items that you already have duplicates of. Some people resell, some people will hold that and trade with people. You have to do different things that are going to work for you and what you feel comfortable doing, especially if you can't just go out there and buy every single item at these crazy overpriced prices or even top prices. You don't always want to pay full retail for these. So I just want to know what you guys think about game collecting. Where do you think it's going to go for 2025? And did you fall into any of these in 2024? Did you go out there and buy a fake game? Did you buy something that was overpriced? Did you fall into the hype? And did you pay this crazy amounts of money for all this stuff and then later find out that it dropped significantly? I want to know in the comments down below. And of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out all of my other videos and stay tuned for more.